Have you been doing a lot lately but still not sure where you're going? Everything on the outside seems fine, but inside there's an emptiness. If you're a Sagittarius, that feeling isn't random. The first 6 months of 2025 may have made you realize something important. Trying harder doesn't always mean getting results. You've been showing up to work, living responsibly, and trying your best to build a future. But money still feels tight. Work keeps getting heavier, and your heart keeps getting tired. Sometimes you ask yourself, where did I go wrong? But the truth is, you didn't go wrong. It's just that the old path no longer fits who you are now. Many Sagittarians are holding on to a pace they call stability. But deep down, you know it's no longer true for you. You're no longer excited about your work. You no longer feel meaning in what you do. You keep going, out of duty, out of habit, out of fear of risk. Not because you believe it's what you were born to do. And that quiet distance between who you are and how you live, that's what's draining you the most. If you've been carrying these questions in your head, it's not because you're weak. It's because you're waking up. And starting in June, you'll finally have the chance to reset your entire financial direction. Not by doing more, but by choosing better. You might not have noticed, but for the past 6 months it's felt like you've been driving with the gas pedal stuck. You keep pressing down, but the car just won't speed up. Everything still moves, but it's slow, heavy, and there's always this feeling that some invisible force is pulling you back. Sometimes, you think it's because you lack skills, or planning, or determination. But in reality, your energy has been compressed and spinning off Agnes from the root. You've done everything right, showing up to work, living responsibly, trying not to complain, and yet you still don't feel like you're getting anywhere. It's not because you did something wrong, it's because the universe has placed you in a phase of uninstalling, where what once worked no longer brings results. Astrology calls this the period where Jupiter is restrained by Saturn and Uranus. Like you're trying to move forward while the universe is quietly asking you to pause and check if you're even headed the right way. You want change. You've opened a new page in your mind, but every time you're ready to act, reality blocks your path. Bills, responsibilities, expectations. You're being torn between two forces. One is your inner calling, and the other is everything you're still carrying. And in that constant tug of war, exhaustion starts to seep into your mornings. Many Sagittarians have fallen into a state of deep inner conflict, not because you don't know what you want, but because you do, and still haven't found the courage to follow it. So you continue living in what's familiar, even though it no longer fits. You tell yourself it's just a phase, but that phase keeps dragging on until you no longer recognize where you are in it. The issue isn't your ability, it's an outdated belief system. You once believed that if you worked hard, stayed kind, and kept enduring, everything would turn out okay. But the world has changed, the energy foundation has changed, and so have you. If you keep using an old formula to operate this newer version of yourself, then getting stuck is inevitable. The universe isn't working against you, it's testing you. Will you dare to let go of the safety shell that no longer nourishes you? This pause isn't silence, it's a reset, an erasure, so you can begin again from the core. And if you don't do it this year, you'll keep repeating a dull version of yourself that you no longer even want to keep. If you're in a tired, foggy state and can't even name what's wrong, try this one thing first. Cross out something you're only doing because you're afraid. It doesn't have to be big, just honest. Something you're carrying because you're afraid of looking bad, missing out, or disappointing someone. Just letting go of one of those things might be enough to get your energy flowing again. If you've still been waiting for a sign, this is it. If the first half of the year was a stretch of road where you had to slow down and look within, then starting in June, a new frequency will begin to rise. At first it's subtle, but if you're clear enough to tune in, you'll feel something within you, awakening. Not a surge of impulsive excitement, but a quiet certainty. It's time for things to shift. Astrology doesn't promise magic, but it does show you when the door opens. And from June to September, you're entering one of those windows. Jupiter, your ruling planet, is finally breaking free from the grip of Saturn and moving into harmony with Uranus and Pluto, which means You no longer have to force alignment. You just need to cut back, and things will start clicking into place. This season doesn't ask you to change your entire life overnight, but it will ask you to choose again, to return to the path you've always known was right, but have delayed for far too long. The opportunities you once doubted, dismissed, or postponed, they're circling back. But this time, if you hesitate again, they'll move on to someone else. Because opportunities don't wait for people still convincing themselves it's not time yet. Real transformation begins within. You'll stop doing things to prove yourself. You'll start acting because you see clearly. If you don't do it now, you might never feel the pull again. The clearer you are, the faster things move. The more honest you are, the deeper it flows. The more decisive you are, the lower the risk. From June to September, act like you're investing in a higher version of yourself. Not so others can see it, but so you never fall back into the slow, surviving version of life you've outgrown. All it takes is one focus, one value, one decision, and you'll start to generate momentum, and money will follow the current you've begun to reclaim. If you're still feeling stuck or unclear, start with something simple. Clean your space, let go of one project, say no to a commitment that no longer matters. A small change in your external world can open the path for a bigger internal decision. When you create the space, the universe knows where to deliver what's next. From June onward, no one is holding you back. The only question left is, will you dare to activate yourself? If you still believe that doing more will fix your financial problems, then this is the moment to stop. The more you do, the more scattered you become and the more exhausted you feel. The second half of the year doesn't need you to be busier. It needs you to be more conscious about what's truly worth investing your energy into. Letting go isn't giving up. It's just that you no longer have energy to keep living the wrong life. Many Sagittarians don't choose the wrong thing. They just choose too many. And when you choose too many things, none of them gets the space it needs to thrive. Everything ends up halfway done. But you keep telling yourself, at least I'm trying. That's a sneaky illusion, doing just to avoid the feeling of standing still, without actually getting anywhere. Instead of racing forward, sit down and ask yourself, what still truly holds value for me? There are things that once felt necessary, but now they've become burdens, a relationship, a job, an old plan. If it's no longer aligned, keeping it won't take you any further. The right action now is to make room. So something new actually has a place to arrive. Your energy is not unlimited, it needs a center. When you spread yourself too thin in too many directions, nothing gets deep enough to gain momentum. It's not that you're not talented enough, you just haven't learned how to prioritize and let go at the right time. You're not lacking ideas, you're not lacking motivation. What you're lacking is decisiveness. You keep every door open, afraid that choosing wrong means losing something. But the greatest loss isn't choosing wrong, it's not choosing at all. While you're still hesitating, others have already moved forward by months, even years, and by the time you circle back, the best door might already be closed. Many Sagittarians have a habit of taking action while keeping one eye on the exit. But from June onward, half-hearted strategies will no longer work. This is the time for a clear decision. You don't need to make it public, you just need to commit to yourself. The clearer, simpler, and more honest you are, the more your money flow will begin to unblock. Because once your energy is gathered and focused, the world around you begins to flow with it, and you won't just see money coming in, you'll feel a deep lightness returning to your heart. Taking right action doesn't mean doing something completely new. It means doing what you've always done, but from a different state of being. If you keep doing the same job with the same old mindset, the results won't change. But if you stay in that job and bring clarity and intention into it, that very work could become the most stable source of income you've ever had. Starting from June, your money flow will begin to shift, no longer following old systems, but moving toward those who dare to live true to their own essence. But your essence isn't written in a resume. It lives in how you think, act, and create value each day. Below are 5 core energy types. Take a moment to see which one truly feels like home so you can choose the right path and unlock your right money flow. Type 1. Those who thrive through sharing, guiding, and connecting people. You're not afraid to speak up. You may not be good at everything, but you know how to make people feel heard, understood, and inspired to follow. You're suited for coaching, teaching, live streaming, hosting, consulting, or any work that requires strong human presence and energy. If you haven't started yet, try offering one free class, sharing a video, or giving advice to someone who needs it. Your financial growth doesn't come from selling a product, but from earning trust in your ability to connect. Your greatest strength. You make people want to walk with you. Don't fear starting small. If you show up consistently, trust will accumulate into income. Type 2. Those who thrive through observation, reflection, and transformation. You're inward, insightful, and can see what others often miss. You don't enjoy rushing. You want to do things deeply and meaningfully. You could write books, work in therapy, host a podcast, create content around psychology, or build spaces where people can learn or heal. Start by jotting down what you observe each day. Then turn it into something people can read, listen to, or feel. Your financial mindset needs to shift from keeping knowledge to yourself to sharing it at the right time, with the right people, in the right way. Your greatest strength. When you speak, people don't just listen, they feel. And if you stay consistent, you'll build one of the most loyal communities out there. Type 3. Those who thrive through craft, aesthetics, and emotional sensibility. You have skilled hands, strong aesthetic taste, and know how to create things with a personal touch. You might work in handmade crafts, tailoring, hairstyling, painting, food styling, interior decor, or any kind of creative design. Don't downplay what you call a side hustle. The market today craves high personalization. Start by posting real photos of things you've made, sharing your process, or letting people place custom order. Your financial mindset needs to let go of, "I'm not good at tech," because you can always partner with someone who is. Your greatest strength. What you touch carries a soul. And that's something no one else can copy. Type 4. Those who thrive through endurance, practicality, and lived experience. You don't talk much, but you get things done. You've been through phases of juggling 2 or 3 jobs at once, shouldering responsibilities, dealing with all kinds of people. You're suited for small business, grassroots services like running a food stall, delivery, construction, or any work that requires reliability and grit. Don't underestimate the value you carry. Many people know theory but can't survive off it. Start by writing down the steps you've learned, sharing your experience, or growing a circle of people who trust you. Your financial mindset needs to break free from the fear of failure, because honestly, you've already been through things harder than this. Your greatest strength. Once you start, people feel safe. Type 5. Those who thrive through flexibility, quick reflexes, and timing. You're not into long-term plans. You're quick to observe, quick to act, and know exactly when to jump in. You're suited for online selling, brokering, middleman services, being a KOL, trend-based sales, anything that moves fast and shifts constantly. If you're not sure where to start, pay attention to what you often recommend to others, because you might already be a trusted go-to person without realizing it. Your financial mindset needs to understand this. You don't have to stick to something long-term, but you do have to hit the right spot. Your greatest strength. Wherever there's an opportunity, you sense it first. Just don't chase every shiny thing, and you'll profit from the one that fits best. No matter which group you belong to, don't chase how others make money. When you understand how you operate, money will find its way to match your energy. No need to compare, no need to push to be like anyone else. You just need to be real and stay committed to what you bring to the table. Those who can do that, starting from June, will be the ones who stay financially steady in the long run. Not everyone is born with a wealth magnet in their energy blueprint, but Sagittarius is. Because you were born under the rulership of Jupiter, the planet of expansion, bold vision, and fortune that flows from living a life aligned with your true essence. The problem is, luck doesn't run on autopilot if you don't know how to match your frequency to what you're doing every day. You might be the kind of person who doesn't need to do too much, but when you do act, you create big results. Some people need to work 10 times as hard just to earn one reward. You, if aligned with the right timing and energetic axis, might only need to put in 3 parts to get 10. But if you live out of tune with your core frequency, doing things that go against your nature, or trading your freedom for fake security, you'll crash faster, fall harder, and struggle longer than most. Financial frequency isn't some quick fix formula to get rich. It's about how you use every unit of your life force. What are you trying to prove? To whom? At what cost? Some people work hard every day, but in the wrong environment with the wrong people, doing things that mean nothing to them. So even when money arrives, it slips through their fingers, and in the end, they don't even remember what they were working for in the first place. Sagittarius holds a rare gift that few others possess. When you speak your truth, it wakes people up. When you act from a place of inner clarity, others are genuinely inspired. But many Sagittarians have lost their alignment, not because they lost their talent, but because they spent too long trying to please others, fit into collective expectations, or chase what society labels as success. And that's when money begins to drift because you've already drifted from yourself. From June onward, you'll have a natural window to reconnect your signal, but it won't show up as a big idea. It will arrive in subtle signs, an invitation, a sudden event, a quiet resistance in your heart toward the old routine. If you ignore those signs, the door will quietly close. Not because you're unworthy, but because the universe can't pause forever, waiting for someone who's not ready to rise. You don't need to go big. You just need to choose one thing you truly believe in, not something you should do, but something you know deep down you were born for. One job, one pivot, one honest no to the old, one quiet yes to the new. From there, your energy will begin to draw in everything that matches your true frequency. Money, people, opportunities. You don't need to change the world to become wealthy. You just need to live in integrity with the frequency that's already calling your name and stop distorting it with doubt or delay. Money doesn't need you to be perfect. It only needs you to be clear. And when you live with clarity, money isn't something you chase. It becomes something you attract, without having to sell off your soul. If you're not sure where you've fallen out of alignment, start here. Write down one thing you do every day that no longer feels meaningful. Then ask yourself honestly, who am I still doing this for? Just being honest with that one question will show you exactly what needs to change first. No one's asking you to have everything figured out before you start again, because clarity doesn't come before the journey. It comes when you actually step onto the path. If you keep analyzing until you feel 100% certain, chances are you'll never move. 2025 doesn't require you to do everything. It only asks you to do one thing that truly feels right, and start from there. If you're a Sagittarius and you've listened this far, something inside you may have already shifted. Not because this message was that great, but because you're finally ready to live more honestly, more awake, and in your own true power. Drop your birth date in the comments, and if you're willing, write down one thing you've always thought but never dared to say about your financial journey. That could be the first step in shifting your money flow. You can also share this video with another Sagittarius you care about, someone who's been feeling lost, quiet, or thinking, maybe I went the wrong way. Because sometimes no one needs to come save us. We just need one well-timed reminder, and that's enough to make us remember how powerful we really are. And if this message feels like it's speaking your energy, save it. Because the next time you feel lost, this might be what brings you back to yourself. No need to hustle, no need to force. Just remember, you weren't born to live small. You were born to live clearly, live truthfully, and live with meaning.